safety is a major issue. My goal in getting a horse out of a trailer like this is not get hurt or anybody hurt, and get the horse out as quick as possible. To use the jaws of life, the chisel, and all the instruments, it makes a lot of noise, and so I have to get in the trailer and get the horse sedated first, and then get a catheter in it, and then give it a general anesthesia, which gives you a 15 to a 20-minute window that the horse is out and won't respond to external stimuli. So that is the most challenging part on my aspect, is getting a needle and a catheter in the horse. So first thing to do when I assess coming in here to see if there's 1 or 2 horses in there, that makes a kind of a big difference. Horses will blow up and explode at any stimuli or no stimuli, and 1,200 pounds of thrashing things, they have no concept of self-preservation in a situation like this. They will kick out into sharp metal several times and do some major damage to themselves. You never want to get around the back legs of a horse, if at all possible, in this type of a situation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the top portal, get out there. As soon as I get there, kind of assess the situation. I'm not going to take care of any bleeding or anything like that. I'm going to give the horse a pretty strong sedative just to quiet it down, so I can get in there a little bit further and get a catheter in. And then I hook up a line that comes up out of the trailer where I can give other medications remotely, so I don't have to go back into the trailer to get them.
Steve, would you always do a general, or would you just sort of depend on what the situation is?
Always do a general, if I can, because even heavily sedated, the horses can blow up and panic. So I want them completely out. So, just a comment, I was listening to Kathy in there, and she's saying that horses in a situation like this will hop right back in a trailer, but I just wanted to, I told her a little bit later, those 2 horses that we helicoptered out of the backcountry, they would not get back in a helicopter. I tried, but they would not.
Aspect of it, when we show up, first thing we do, hopefully Steve will be there. We assign an incident commander, which will be myself, and a safety officer will be Randy. Randy's going to kind of be there to oversee and make sure the firefighters aren't placing themselves in danger of the horse, the people are safe. That's kind of her job. I'll be talking with the firemen, where we want to cut, how we want to cut, and that kind of thing. And then we'll have our crew when we're ready need to pull and tug and that kind of thing.
Sir, before you get in there, I have to require you to wear a helmet.
Well, get me one. Get me one. Yeah, I don't usually have much.
Yeah, so you come in, you talk to Chief, say, Chief, I'm a doctor, this or that. He'll put you, or at least he'll get you into where you can do what you need to do. We're all aware that you're a part of our rescue situation. And
we've never done any training for it specifically, but a lot of times these trailers are going to have 2 or 3 horses, which makes an entirely different problems of horses on top of horses and panicking horses, and that would, you just have to, I guess, go from the top down, get the top one off. What I think we're going to do, and I've talked with the fire department here, is of how to take apart a trailer. Ideally it would be nice to cut it at the bottom so there's no sharp points, but with a horse laying there it would be a little bit more difficult. So I think the best thing to do is try to take the whole thing off, take it off at the top, all the way over here, down the side, cut off the supporting beams, try to peel it back, and if we have access to the lower beams, to cut those off and get the whole top off would be the best access that we could do to get the horse out and safely. Because this is curved, what we've done in the past is have to cut it right about here, which there's a little lip, and so we have to protect those sharp edges of metal with blankets, towels, and then the plastic slide sheet, and try to get that up and over under the horse as far as possible, so when we drag it, the horse will slide up and over and not push the plastic thing out and have the horse cut. But worst case scenario is you get the horse out and you deal with the wounds later. We're going to take these doors off so you can see kind of what I'm doing inside. You can kind of peek in. I would probably, in a horse, in a trailer like this, I would probably leave the doors shut so the horse doesn't think it has a way of escaping, and they're usually a little bit calmer if they think they're trapped. But each situation is a little bit different. You know, if this is torn up and a very sharp edge and the horse is starting to kick at it, then it's probably best to get it out of the way so he's kicking air, not metal. If they're still cutting and I'm seeing those ears start to go like this, the tail's starting to swish, the drugs are going right in right away. I'd say stop the noise, give it 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes after giving the drugs, let's start up again. I'll check if you can put it in. I'll tell you what I'm doing. Makes me a little bit more difficult. I don't think it's going to fold back as well as if you cut it here, it'll peel out a little bit easier. Is that right?
What's the reason for not coming out the back? Cutting the top. Grab on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just catching right there in the second one, I think. No, I think it just. Yeah. Just see if you can bend it. Perfect. Couldn't ask for anything better. We have a plastic sheeting that we'll put in there, but that's a little sharp there. We'd have to cover that some way or cut it off. Roll them over and then drag them a little bit further. It would probably be the best, easiest on the tail and the body structure.
Yeah, we could use one of those.
Yeah, go underneath it, because that way when the horse comes out, it's not going to try and move that one.
Yeah.
We want to go right around the low on the legs, right? On the ropes.
Yeah. When addressing the feet, I still, even though under general anesthesia, I probably would still be very careful, stand way off to the side and use my arm's length. I usually use a loop, come up over the fetlock like that, make another half hitch, and come down there. That gives you 2 points of support of there. Then I bring it to the inside. That's where you're leveraged, because if you do this one and you try to flip him,
Right.
he's going to do the splits. This one, the hock will tuck up and then you can have leverage. So what we're going to do is we're going to slide the horse away from the trailer, and instead of dragging him all the way out, we're going to roll. What I'd probably do is probably put a little war bridle if we didn't have a halter on it. So. Yep. Okay. And we don't have a tail because it's not a real tail.
Yeah, we don't have it. Typically, go ahead, we need another rope for some.
Okay. Need some equine evac people there.
What we'd try and do now is we're going to try and, if we had bendable legs, we would try and pull and roll and get him out.
Do the legs tend to tuck up against
Yeah.
the body pretty good?
Our guys. our little pull down hooks we can catch. Yeah.
So once we get them clear of the trailer, probably to here, we would probably try to roll them up and over. And that'll get them away from the trailer completely. I'll just lift them up now, or?
Sure.
And then he's so good he gets up right away. Carry him to safety.
Another tricky part is he would still be out under general anesthesia and they wake up. They can be unpredictable and very wobbly. So we try to at least try to get them away as far as from the trailer as possible, depending on the terrain. You know, if it's try to get them on level ground. Keep the earplugs in, keep them blindfolded, and try to keep everything as quiet as possible, because the longer he sleeps it off, the smoother the recovery is going to be. You can stimulate them when they're in that kind of disoriented stage. They get up and they're wobbling all over, and 1,200 pounds going sideways and straight at you, you can't stop them. So the longer that they stay asleep, the better. I might even prolong just the tranquilization. The general anesthesia would go away, but I would tranquilize them so they would sleep a little bit longer, and perhaps you can get the trailer dragged off in a different direction or something like that, give it a little bit more room, because it wouldn't surprise me if he did get up and he staggered right back into the sharp edges of the trailer. So getting him farther away from the trailer farther away from the horse would probably be very advantageous. Wanted to make this point because there's no absolute correct way of doing this. That you always have to adapt to the situation. And a gentleman came up and asked me, why can't you just drag him out the back? And you know, I thought of it and just kind of discarded it, because you have legs and a tail to pull him with. And he said, well, put a chest strap around him. I'm thinking, that is not a bad idea. You know, general anesthesia, you get in there, get a fire hose if you have to, hook it up to a truck or something like that, get it secured. You got good points of contact, put the skid there, slide them out the back. Not a bad idea. And in certain circumstances, that might be the better of the idea, especially if this is rolled, you know, to the side, or it's totally upside down or something. The horse is in a big blob on the top. You can't cut the top off. So every situation is probably going to be a little bit different, and you know, that's a great idea, and I would definitely consider it. I think that's the end of this demonstration. Thanks, guys.
I want to thank everybody that showed up today for the training exercise, and if there's any questions or anybody has any questions regarding the video, why, feel free to call us at any time. We're here to learn and here to help.